his 7th win here at Donington Park. Valentino Rossi looks behind him, nobody in sight.
I have no words. I have no words and I have no more liquid to cry. So.
Dovizioso just gets it on the line. The winning margin just 0.02 of a second. The top 5 riders covered by just 0.6 of a second. Unbelievable.
These are the wildest ending moments in motorcycle racing history. In the motorsports world, audiences have witnessed some of the most thrilling finishes the racing world has ever come to encounter.
Marquez is up the inside of Rossi. Oh, Rossi just holds firm. Rossi's through the gravel. Rossi's going to win the race. Valentino Rossi wins the Dutch TT. What a dramatic...
Like the time riders Jordan Soka, Kenny Reitman, and Claudio Corti shocked the world at a 2016 Mopar Canadian Superbike race. Racing side by side, the trio made a dramatic 3-way finish, inches from each other.
Right now, and contact between Reitman and Corti, and Soka's won it!
Which ended up marking the moment as one of the best races ending the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park has ever seen. Or the time Spanish rider Alex Rins stole a win from Marc Marquez at the 2017 British Grand Prix when he did this.
Versus Rins. Here we go then, around the final corner. Rins is going to have another look. Surely not around the inside. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's done it. Rins has poached it. Unbelievable.
Squeezing out of a tight deal by a 13,000ths of a second and landing 25 points for the lead. But what is even more amazing is when Italian rider Max Biaggi showed everyone why he is called Mad Max the Roman Emperor. Want to know what made this moment even crazier? Max Biaggi didn't even win the race. Down by a fraction of just 13,000th of a second, he lost his far-sought chances of winning the world title to Valentino Rossi, aka the Doctor. Looks like Marlboro found themselves an unfathomed opponent. But sometimes, it's not every race finish that lead up to winners. Sometimes, for one to understand the game, they've got to be matched up with the almighty skill and resilience. And who better to ask than Marc Marquez, who made one incredible move seem so easy. Performing a double overtake at the apex of a turn that's just impressive.
Here comes Marquez! Oh, here comes Marc Marquez! 2 for the price of 1. Oliveira just lifted up Jack Miller, and Marc Marquez out of nowhere, he goes up into 3rd place. Marc Marquez back on the podium in 3rd.
But easy enough, even if it didn't earn him the 1st and 2nd position, he at least got to make it to the podium with 16 points to show, and prove to the crowd why his middle name is Ant of Cervera. Well, Antman would fit in just perfect for this case.
Located the breach, bringing him in.
Sorry about this.
It's just amazing how that little superhero can have a big impact in the fight. Ain't that right, Sam Wilson?
It's really important to me that Cap never finds out about this.
Speaking of resilience, it's about time we talked about perfect timing. It's easy to say that in motorcycle racing, everything is about timing and precision, but what Irish rider Jonathan Rea did in a race in Portugal revolutionized everything. Starting from pole position for the first time in 2022, he made the worst unprecedented start, but was ready to relegate. He put his money where his mouth was, but ended up with one of the best moments for him and his crew in his entire career. I've sure never seen a race that exciting, but ever since Cooper Webb had his moment in Arlington, I've had a lot to think about.
Clark tries to get inside! Oh! Contact to the line! It's Webb! Cooper Webb beats him to the line!
Leading a heated race at a 2019 125cc motocross championship race, he tarnished German rider Ken Roczen's hopes for the championship win with only a fractional time difference of a mind-boggling 0.028 seconds. Oh, and by the way, that's the closest ever recorded time difference win the motocross arena has ever seen. But it got better when, in 2001, countryman rider Ricky Carmichael and Australian rider Chad Reed took part in a real thrill race to see who was truly the greatest of all time.
Ricky, as you said, is just looked perfect as he comes up to the finish line. Ricky Carmichael, your winner
He points back to Reed, a little fist pump.
Reed said he was faster than me, and I beat him.
Chad Reed, being an accomplished rider, simply couldn't stand a chance and ended up winning the race 0.595 seconds short of Carmichael, the real GOAT on the track. With all that being said, it's about time we talk about riders who turned on beast mode. Like when countryman James Stewart made the wildest comebacks the game has recently come to see.
Stewart's race got off to a bad start. He only started in 14th position, but he quickly managed to climb up to 11. Laps later, James overtook Justin Barcia for the lead. It is worth mentioning that James Stewart was very fast in that whoop section. It was one of the best comebacks in Supercross history.
From the dead last position, he fought tooth and nail and rose up the ranks to the first position with the best 3 laps of his life. But it gets better, as rider Blake Baggett also had his moment in the sunshine when he made his finest comeback at a 250cc motocross championship race.
Blake Baggett was super fast on 250s. Blake passed Justin Barcia as soon as the white flag came out, and Ken Roczen was passed with a few turns to go. Blake Baggett was on the beast mode.
The best thing about this moment is when Blake unleashed his full potential and stole the show from riders Justin Bastia and Ken Roczen as soon as the white flag came up, and continued to show everyone why he is called the fastest man on 2 wheels. Speaking of which, you've got to know about the time French riders Thomas Reymet and uber-fast Cedric Soubirous really got into it in a masterclass display of arena cross racing at the Monster Energy Arena Cross in Newcastle's Metro Radio Arena. Keeping a fast pace and going head-to-head battle for the win, the duo crashed out in one of the craziest race finishes ever, which, as thrilling as it was, they didn't even know who the real winner was. But in light of this, Thomas Reymet, in just fractions of quick moves, emerged as the Monster Energy Arena Cross champion. Top of the story, these motocross shenanigans topped the world-class level of insanity. But to be honest, these next 10 moments will leave you in such disbelief that you'll remain skeptical about how it even happened.
I bet my house on the fact that Valentino Rossi is winning this race.
Like the time he pulled off a 146.422 mile/hour dash in the rain at Donington Park in the UK in 2005, which left his opponents in the, what should we call it, rain maybe.
His 7th win here at Donington Park. Valentino Rossi looks behind him, nobody in sight, soaking wet, stands up and says, "Thank you very much indeed."
But whatever it is, the racer behind pretty much had the whole lot of it. And even more intriguing is that once he got past them, they didn't stand a chance to get close to him, let alone reclaim positions. What about his coldest moment at the 2003 Australian Grand Prix in Phillip Island, when he gapped his opponents and won the championship title with a razor-thin time margin of just 0.392 seconds against Italian rider Loris Capirossi, who in hindsight was nowhere to be seen in Valentino's peripheral vision.
Over Loris Capirossi, 10.392. The 10-second penalty knocked off. That means Rossi is just in the lead, and he's still going quicker than Capirossi.
Hayden in 3rd place, Gibernau in 4th place. No way through there for Sete Gibernau. Valentino Rossi has won the Australian Grand Prix here at Phillip Island.
No wonder he is the greatest motorcycle racer the track has ever seen, proven time and time again. Like the other time, he caused a sensational moment for Team Yamaha with 160 miles an hour on his meter, teasing Max Biaggi with the lead at the 2004 African Grand Prix.
One bend to go for the world champion. Rossi is going to do it. The checkered flag beckons the doctor. The checkered flag is shown. Valentino Rossi wins the Africa's Grand Prix from Yamaha. And
he then proceeded to shock the world when he became the first motorcycle rider to win consecutive races while on different machinery. So much so that his incredible victory marked a revolutionary moment for Team Yamaha, as nobody had expected the team to win since the outset of 2004, but Valentino had other ideas. Inevitably, it doesn't get better than this. But what happened at the Thailand Grand Prix in 2019 is truly a one-of-a-kind moment worth the chat.
Surely, but it's all about the last corner. Here comes Fabio Quartararo up the inside. Marquez knows it's coming. He can't stop it. It's the comeback. The checkered flag is out. He's done it. He wins in Thailand, and he is the 8th-time world champion.
Battling it out in the last 2 laps, going head-to-head against each other, Fabio Quartararo and Marc Marquez, swerving corners one in front of the other, made history for the Thai strip when what looked to be a proficient finish for Yamaha, Marc Marquez soon turned the tables at the last possible minute and made a 25-point masterclass move for Team Honda meters away from the finish line. Aggravating as it is, Quartararo took the loss so personally that in the few years that passed, he garnered so many points that in 2021 he made his matchup victory in Misano, Italy, when he became the 2021 Motorsports World Champion after an engaging battle with Enea Bastianini and Marc Marquez, where Marc Marquez won the race, but with a total 267 points and a 65 points lead. The Frenchman's moment in the sun had finally come to pass.
Huge congratulations, the new world champion. This is your dream as a young boy. Can you even begin to describe the emotions right now?
I have no words. I have no words and I have no more liquid to cry. So,
Aside from Fabio's first ever world championship, another incredible moment came on the 9th of April 2022, when Danilo Petrucci claimed his first ever win at the Moto America Medaglia Superbike Race 1, when he won both legs of his inaugural race at the Circuit of the Americas.
Here comes Petrucci. Looks like he's having some fun in the final corner, sending his Panigale V4R sideways. Racing Ducati New York entry, he takes the checkered flag, and the first victory for Ducati since race 2 at Indy in 2020, and Danilo Petrucci.
Petrucci fought tooth and nail and maintained a lead that pushed him to his limits when Matthew Schultz refused to throw in the towel. But in the end, at the finish line, Petrucci's margin of victory surpasses that of Schultz by 1.7 seconds, making the Italian's first ever win so hard to achieve. But that's nothing compared to what took place on another thrilling race opening show of theatrics at the 2019 Qatar Grand Prix. Andrea Dovizioso crafted the best approach to win the tussle for the race win and came up on top with a few thousandth, preferably 0.320 seconds ahead of the defending world champion Marc Marquez and Cal Crutchlow, as he took the checkered flag in quick succession during the heated race in the newly launched Grand Prix races.
Dovizioso just gets it on the line. The winning margin just 0.02 of a second. The top 5 riders covered by just 0.6 of a second. Unbelievable.
But incredibly, that's not even the craziest race finish yet, compared to when Max Biaggi, Loris Capirossi, and Valentino Rossi took the podium positions wins in the Australian Grand Prix race with a sequential time difference of 0.288 seconds, respectively, with Biaggi in the lead, Capirossi in second, and Valentino Rossi closing off the trio's thirst for the podium.
12 very strongly and fast and leading as they come down towards the checkered flag, and it is Max Biaggi from Capirossi from Valentino Rossi in third place.
If that's not crazy enough for you, I don't know what is. But what I certainly do know is crazy is finishing a heated race in wheelie mode. With a mind-boggling 0.266 seconds on the clock, the 9-time Grand Prix World Championship holder Valentino Rossi denied Team Honda the win. And to add insult to injury, he closed off the race with the nastiest wheelie known to motorsports.
In Germany, Marco Melandri second, Nicky Hayden third.
The gap between the 4 of them at the end of 30 laps, 0.307 of a second. Simply
talk about savage mode. But if you're looking for savage moves in the sport that are rare to see, then these 1 in a trillion motorcycle racing moments ought to captivate you.